Shut up and sit down.
Eddie's got places to go,
So
people to see tonight.
Here's the beauty: we can record it, but nobody can watch it.
That is true because YouTube is down.
Well, let's hope it comes back up before we get it out. But you know,
by the time we post this, I
That's what she
imagine.
said.
We're getting spicy here on a
we
Wednesday
are
night
already. Yeah.
After a
Wednesday night.
spicy week in the NFL, that is for sure. Week 9,
That's
officially halfway through the season. What a way to start the show. Everybody, welcome into the Pigskin Freaks. Hopefully
yeah.
YouTube is up and you're here looking at our beautiful faces. So boys, what do you got for beer? It's a spicy Wednesday. You guys got spicy beers? What are you drinking?
Well, I'm going to start this show because if anybody needs to drink, it would be this guy right here. All right.
Yep.
Yes.
So I went to the fridge and I pulled out a beer. I've actually never had this. I bought this last week just because I kind of like the look of it, and it sounded interesting to me. I'm not sure that I've ever actually had this kind of beer before. This is called Purple Haze.
I've had it.
I like that name.
And it's a raspberry lager. I'm not a huge raspberry fan, but it sounded interesting to me, so I was like,
2 thumbs up from me already. Keep going.
We'll give it a shot. It's from Abita Brewing Company out of Louisiana.
Yep.
So it comes from the Bayou. So that's fun too. So bottoms up, boys.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's tasty. Yeah. Wow. You know, you'd think you'd taste more raspberry with that, but it's not overly heavy, which I think is probably why I like it, because I'm not a huge raspberry fan. Oh, nope. There it is. No,
Strong aftertaste.
It's just a little late. Yeah, to the party. Nope, there it is. Yeah, it's fruity. It's definitely a fruitier beer. A little fruitier than I like, but definitely good. I'm going to give this a 7.2.
All right, that's pretty solid
on my scale. Yeah. Yeah, I expected something completely different. You know how you have an expectation, right, when you drink a beer, and then you take a drink of it and you're like, wow, that's not at all what I expected. I expected fruitiness, but I'm like, that's just different. But good, a solid beer. I would definitely buy another one.
Okay.
So, hey, John, did you see? By the way, did I just send them to you? Or did I send them to you and Evan? Saturday night, I was out drinking at a place called the Twisted Vine. It's just to you.
This.
Damn it! I meant to put.
I don't know if you sent it to both of us. You definitely sent it to me.
Okay.
Now that you say that, let me go see. No, you definitely just sent it to me.
It was just I meant to.
You were drinking an apple tart Rattler, which from Boulevard, which I like.
Yes, it's super good, and they had yes,
Okay.
yes, and then they had the Kincaidor Brewing jalapeno ale there, the devil's that I drank on the show.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I was like, man, that's just awesome. I mean, who the hell has that on tap? Well, this place does. If you guys ever come to town, we're going, because they have great live music, and
All right.
and the beers on tap are amazing.
All right.
They've probably got 50 or 60. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's overdone, but
I'd open a window. Sorry.
That's a good selection.
It's and the beers on it are just. They did have this sour, because they let you taste them, right, in little tasters. You can taste whatever. So they had this one, and it's called Princess something. Shit, I don't know. It's a gose. All right, and so I tasted it, but I'm like, oh, here's lemonade stand again. And it wasn't as bad as lemonade stand, but are all sours goses, John? Or are they two different things? Because the gose I do not care for.
That is
at all. But I've had sours.
Kind of what they're called, but people can call it a sour, and maybe they aren't quite a true gose, which is I think has to do with how it's a wild yeast that they kind of let do its thing. They don't really know what's going to happen, kind of deal.
I'm not a huge fan of goses. So
you'll find some you do like, right? Because it kind of ferments it and gets a little bit
ripe.
We'll use the word sour, but you almost might call it
rotten.
Rotten, yeah.
It is kind of like that.
Slightly less rotten word for it, but
yeah, It just what. But now I've had sours that are not gosés, and they're
Right, yes.
they're really good.
They're usually not quite so
yeah,
over the top.
rotten. yeah,
Right.
yeah. So, but if you guys ever come to town, the Twisted Vine is definitely a place to go.
Cool.
I mean,
All
yeah,
right.
it's just a super cool place.
Nice.
So,
All right.
what are you drinking today? You got some
Well,
diet ginger ale?
I'm actually looking forward to this. I kept it in a koozie just to keep it cold-ish because I was ready for the show, and then I rebooted because of YouTube being down. So this one is the only. This is from my supply I got at Parkway Liquors. I only got one of these, and it's a
Ooh,
Mon
I like the can.
Cold Snack. It just got such a fucking funny name. Cold Snack. Yeah, and it's got a horse. It just
I like
looks
the can.
Doesn't it look like retro 70s? Like,
Looks fun.
yeah, Cold Snack. What kind of beer is called Cold Snack? It's just a lager, so it's probably. I mean, it's probably just okay.
Oh yeah.
But it's the only one I had, and so I put a Yankee Tank coordinating color up because it happened to be the closest to the door and worked out perfectly.
How is it that we're both drinking lagers tonight?
You guys
Wild
are
luck.
just in
Yeah,
sync.
but yours
you
was
know?
raspberry. I mean, this is a little more traditional. But look at it. It's got a
Yes.
pretty good color so far. Good
All
pour.
right.
Not too, it's getting crystal clear.
It looks like a Bush Light.
It does, or a Bush, or a
I
Bud,
mean,
or a
yeah,
Miller.
I mean, come on, man. Yeah, it's great color.
Yeah, it kind of tastes like one.
All
There
right,
you go.
there.
Yes.
I mean,
Nice.
lagers are pretty standard fare. It's good.
yes. Yeah.
It's good. It's mild. It's normal. I just mowed the lawn or worked out in the yard or whatever.
Yeah.
I just needed a refreshing, crisp, clean beer to drink, and this is it.
That's the one. Yes.
So what does it get on your lager scale?
I'm trying to think. What's my? It's not the worst beer.
No.
I mean, I don't like Budweiser, so I definitely rate it above that. I like Bush. I mean, I got a beer to rate on the show that I got when I went to Kansas City last, and I haven't pulled it yet. It's definitely like a cheapie, but it's only in the Illinois, edge of Missouri area that I can find this beer, so I always like it. But I'm trying to not overrate this, but not underrate it because it's pretty good. 7.34. That's what it's getting.
What was that again?
7.34. The Montucky. So almost
Yep.
Kentucky. The
Cold
Montucky
Snack.
Cold Snack.
I got it.
And the other beautiful thing though, look at it was a 16 ounce. So you gotta
I
like
love
the
that.
fact that I had to do a double pour to get it all in the glass, take a big drink. It's going down easy. I mean, obviously that's it. I refilled.
All right. Hey,
So anyway,
7.34.
happy.
Pretty good.
Right, not bad.
Solid beers. I'm
I'd buy it
glad
again as
there's-
well. You could buy a 6-pack and you could down them all in an afternoon. Easy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's the kind of beer you pound.
Yes,
I mean,
that's exactly my point.
That's definitely the beer that you go buy the case and you're
You
just
barely
like,
taste
pop,
it.
pop,
It
pop.
just rolls right down your throat. Doesn't
Yeah.
get hung up. It's not heavy. It's not
Yeah.
nothing. It just flows. Nice.
You know, as much as I hate saying this, can we bring out the board, please?
Yeah, you gotta do it. I was gonna say,
go.
Joe, you're worthy
Since
of a
you-
lemonade stand.
because you asked.
Oh,
Only
hey,
because
don't
only
think
because
I
you
didn't.
asked will I pull it out.
Right.
Just for you. Because I
Don't-
like pulling it out. for
Evan,
you.
don't think I didn't think of the old lemonade
Oh, look at
stand.
those numbers.
Yeah,
So we're
I got to tell you, they ain't none of us should brag. I mean,
Oh.
I realize I'm
So-
0-5, but
so here's what we learned, right? Evan really
Damn.
knows how to pick games that suck. And
Yeah.
not only that,
Yeah.
we picked several games all thinking they were gimmies. And
Oh, yeah.
those were the ones that were for the most
Yeah.
part not gimmies.
Yep.
mhm.
But all I can say is thank you guys. I
Yeah.
appreciate as
Yeah,
we talked. There's
You
a
took
choice of
huge
either
lead.
narrowing the gap or widening the gap, and once again, you helped me widen the gap.
Yeah,
Yes.
but barely. We had such different picks,
Ev,
and yet we all
We're gonna
sucked.
see. Ev, you're so
Yes.
far off of me that your one win didn't help. All you did was get closer to Joe.
That's
He
fine.
just widened the gap between me and him. So
Yes.
I think the shocker probably was the Bucks getting destroyed by the Saints.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pick,
The
and I'm mad
the
at myself. I
Seahawks
should have picked the
getting
Saints
killed
'cause I
by
like
by the Bills.
Yeah,
I think.
but it was a 10-point game. But yeah, I agree, Joe.
Yeah,
'cause
but
the
we all
Bills hadn't
chose
been
the
playing.
Seahawks.
No, I
mean,
know. But I
you
think it was
know.
closer, and the Bills hadn't been playing. But if you really step back and look, you go, okay, the Bills should back up. And the Seahawks defense is just terrible.
They're
So
horrible.
that made more sense. If the Saints Bucks game was close, I think we'd have went, okay. The Saints beat them before, okay. But this wasn't even a fucking close game. But the Ravens Colts, thank the boys.
Yes.
Good pick on the Dolphins there, Ev. And Joe, you actually picked them in your parlay, but not in your pick.
I did.
As
Yeah.
you commented during our episode.
Yes.
Like,
I was like,
against yourself.
I'm torn because I really liked the Dolphins in that game. It was like, yeah. You know.
And then you gave me another one, the Bears Titans. I appreciate you
Yes.
for that.
Yes. Now,
I picked differently than both of you guys.
I did
I'll
want to say
remember that.
something about this. Do you realize? So last week I went 5-0.
Yep.
All right. Now I'm the only one to go undefeated. Now I'm the only one to have gone.
No, I went 5-0. I went 5-0.
You did?
Yep.
He
I
did
thought you went
once.
5-1.
Yeah. No, that was the 6-gamer. I went 5-0 once. Yeah.
You did. Okay. All right.
That's why I'm so far ahead of you guys. Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I would say about this.
I've never won 0-5.
Do you know how hard it is to go 0-5?
It's
Like,
pretty
you got-
difficult.
like
I
seriously,
think it's hard
you-
to not get over 500. We
No,
both
Yeah.
all
no,
went below
you-
500.
You seriously couldn't sit here and pick teams to go 0-5. It would be just as hard
Oh,
to
that
go
would be hard.
5-0
Yeah.
It
as
would?
it is 0-5.
Absolutely.
That's why there's just crazy shit going on right
Oh,
now.
yeah. And the
It's
Cards
nuts.
Dolphins game went down to where
I
the
know.
Cards had a makeable field goal.
Yes.
A
Yeah.
makeable field goal that they missed.
Yes.
And I mean, they would have to go to overtime.
Yes.
It's almost like not even on the board, but it's almost like how badly, the Jets gave away the game to the Patriots. But it wasn't on the board. It was just pathetic. The other ones, I mean, honestly, the Saints-Bucks games, guys, it got so bad I stopped watching it.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I just,
It was horrible.
it was out of hand, and I'm like, I'm not even enjoying this. This is not like a game. This is like
No.
a thromping.
No.
At least some of these. Other
Yeah, it
games
wasn't
were
fun
close.
to watch. It wasn't fun to watch at all.
The first half of the Ravens-Colts game was very tight.
Yes.
That really was a pretty good game, to be honest.
Yes.
So season standings, back to that.
Yeah.
So
Lost
Joe was
two-
only
two
down one.
places.
He lost two. So now I got a 3-point buffer. That helps.
Yes.
Ev,
That
you're
sucks.
6 games down to me. Like I said,
I
you think you're
know.
close. You're not really close. That's a week. I
Hey,
could
I
go
still got
0-5
7
and you
weeks.
still wouldn't catch me.
7
Yeah.
weeks, not including the playoffs.
Right. And then
That is, we still got
obviously you're in
time.
contention.
Let's just be real
Yeah,
clear. We
of course
still
you do.
have time.
Of course
but-
you do.
But it's good. It made it a lot harder. I will tell
Right.
you that.
So for fantasy football, again, I continue to dominate.
No, for
I dominate again. So for those that didn't notice, the guy who's not wearing a bag, he went 0-5 and
Yeah,
0-3, and he still said he's not wearing a bag.
Yes.
So me and Ev obviously get a pass if it happens to us again,
Yes.
because I think
Yes.
that's pretty pathetic. But,
Yes.
Ev almost went 0-3 as well, and thanks to New England actually coming back. I don't think that last touchdown put you over the edge, but you were really close before
Yeah.
Cam got his last touchdown. It was you were barely ahead at that point. If he'd have fumbled
Yes.
instead of scoring a touchdown, you would have lost that game.
You guys realize that I beat both of you in CBS.
Yeah, but you lost. It doesn't
It
matter.
does,
You-
yeah, but I'm just saying, John.
you-
and
you
this
have
is
the-
a kind of
I
shit
know, I
that
know.
happens to me, right? I
have the worst
score
record.
enough fucking points to beat half the fucking league, but I play
That
the
was-
one guy
That
that
was me.
scores more than everyone else.
That was me.
I
on
would have beat
ESPN.
both of you in C. Yeah,
Yeah, but
exactly.
Joe,
It's like,
you
what
on
the fuck is a
ESPN.
guy to do?
How'd you do against me
I mean,
in ESPN? You
I
lost.
I lost just as I was projected to lose.
Yeah. No, by more. It was supposed to be really
So-
tight. You lost by like 30 points.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you got thumped.
I can't go play for my guys. I
I,
mean,
know you can't. I hear you.
and the one thing that I'll defend is I didn't have any guys on bye.
No,
I replaced all my players and I put players in there to play. If they don't play, you're 0-3.
yeah, there you go. So Ev's still leading for the season in fantasy football, but he's only a half game
Oh.
ahead of me. I am closing that gap.
Yeah.
Joe, for the first time in a long time, has a losing record overall in fantasy. Just a reminder there.
I need to turn that around.
Yeah, you were 12-12 till this week. Then you
It's
lost.
brutal. Yeah, well. Yeah,
So
that's what
parlay
happens.
though, I'm the big stinker 2 weeks in a row. I can't seem to get my parlays done anymore. I went 0-3 twice. Now Kansas City actually won the game, but they didn't cover the spread, which we were all
Yeah.
shocked. We're all like, no, Joe. Joe, you actually said you did not
I
like
did.
that game, and you were correct on that.
Yeah, the Kansas
Ev and I
City
were all
game, I
about it.
hated it. Yeah.
But the Seattle game we missed. and
McCaffrey
you
was
and I
coming
picked.
back, guys. He's the best running back in the NFL. The Chiefs have trouble stopping the run. It's
Yeah.
as simple as that.
Oh, yeah.
It was going to be a close game. Plus,
And McCaffrey had a good
their
game, and
defense
now he's
played
out
really
again.
well too. I mean, I realize
Sure.
that we scored 30 points, but it's Kansas City. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
shit that you just had to know they were gonna
we
play
were
well.
getting beat in the first half. It was
Oh,
not
you're
looking
0-3. What? This is one of the reasons I didn't wear a bag. Okay,
good. This is a
because you went
parlay.
0-3
This
on
doesn't
the.
matter. We've
Hey,
never
What do you
cared
mean
in
it
the
doesn't
parlay.
matter?
And hey, Joe, in
They-
parlay, 2
We're
and 1 is
all
just as good as
0-3.
0-3.
That's
That's
right. We're
that's
all
exactly right.
0-3 this week.
That's exactly right. That's exactly. But I do enjoy the 0-3 as opposed to 2-1.
No, I know, but it's not
It is
0-5
nice to
and
see.
0-3 in the other
Yeah,
two.
look at
Like,
that.
come on,
0-5.
man.
Right.
Yeah. Evan's still got us, but he's not made any money this year, but he did have a good 1 week. That's basically what happened for him.
Yes.
All right, so let's do our picks for this week, guys.
Okay.
Here we are.
I'm excited. I mean, I can't do worse than last week. I mean,
No.
I'm in the basement. The only thing I can do is go up from here.
Seriously.
Nope, can't do that. That doesn't work. Let's see here. I'm just trying to make it so we can see it better. Oh well. So I'm still ahead.
You're still ahead.
Who
Lead
picks
us.
these games?
I got to keep picking.
What an ass.
They're not that bad. They're. I think
well,
these are
who
the best
picked him?
ones of week
Joe
10. I know.
picked these games.
I know.
So this is an interesting. I was really happy to see one game. I think I'll pick it first.
Okay.
Even though it's in order of the first game of the week to the last game. Well, last one that we have picked. But I'm picking it first because I was so happy to see New England back on the board.
10.
I'm picking the Ravens.
Yeah.
Thank you,
dude,
Joe, for giving us a gimme.
The Ravens.
I'm
Come
really
on.
interested to see what
Dude, they
Evans
can't.
will do.
They can't beat the Jets. I mean, Jesus Christ.
They didn't beat the Jets. The Jets, I think, purposely gave that game away.
That's what I mean. They didn't. They did not beat the New York Jets.
Ev,
You
you
can
pick
say
them
they
in this
did,
one.
but
Come on, Ev, you can pick against your own team. I like to hear it. Let's
dude,
do it.
it's just a loss if you don't.
Right, Ev, you're only
So-
like losing to both of us by a lot of games.
I'm
It's not
picking the
like you need to make
Patriots.
up
Let's
Of
go.
course he is. Yeah. Yeah, he's so far behind he doesn't even care at this
It
point.
doesn't
He's just
matter.
like,
He'd
he's like,
rather
I
be a
don't-
homer than
Yeah,
than
yeah, of
actually
course.
I'll
pick
go
the
down
game
with
up.
the ship.
I love it. I love it. Me too. I'd be the same way. If it was
No, I
Kansas
think-
City, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take him.
I think we're at a couple tight spots here, and I'm really struggling with this. Do I do it 2 weeks in a row?
I don't know.
Man, I'm picking the Cards.
Bills Cardinals. Yeah, that's a tough one to pick.
That's what I'm going in reverse order today.
That is a tough one. I'm going to go with the Bills.
That's not a bad pick. I'm
I'm going to go with the Bills. Their defense seems to have gotten their shit together. At least they did last week. Now that's one.
I'm hoping
week,
the
but
Cards rebound and the Bills slip again because
It's possible.
Yeah, it's going to be a game. I think this is going to be a really tight game. I think
possible.
the records don't accurately reflect how good the teams are. Now, if the Cards lose this, I'm going to say they're not making it, man.
I
It's
think that's a
possible.
possibility. I think it's definitely
They've really been falling lately. All right, Ev, come on, who you picking?
I'm going to go with the Bills also. I just think they're the better team.
Yeah, I mean,
I
right
think
now, now,
yeah.
the way they're playing, I think that's probably.
So
accurate.
guess what? Since you both picked that, I'm getting this game. So I appreciate it.
We'll see about that.
It's kind of happened every time, but we'll just keep going.
It's funny how he's so confident after going 2-3. What a
I
great
know,
record
right?
that was.
That's 2 games better than you did.
Yeah,
so.
I guess it is, but you still weren't on the plus side.
Hey, if I
So-
only get 1 game and you guys get 0, I'm still
Hold on.
separating.
Right,
I
but it doesn't make you an expert at picks.
No,
if you
that's
go 1-4
sure.
every fucking week,
We all have
because
a
you
bad
beat
week. I had
us.
one bad
Yeah.
week, man. One bad
Yeah.
week.
I am curious that you're picking the Rams. You like the
Yeah.
Rams over the Seahawks?
I do.
Okay.
Oh,
So
I'm going
look at this.
Seahawks. I think Seahawks bounce back.
4 or 5 games versus Seattle. One last 4
yeah,
or 5.
but that's the past. We're only here.
Rams have okay, here's
Doesn't
fine. I
matter.
think we should be doing this more, and we haven't been. I think the Rams have a better D, and their offense, while not as good as Seahawks, is close enough that the defensive difference is going to make this game. And I think the Bills showed that last week.
I think the Seahawks win because Chris Carson comes back this week.
Okay.
I think the Seahawks
Good
win
reason.
and they win by over 10 points.
I think they
But
win.
why?
big, too.
Why did they win, Ev? Give us a reason.
Way better offense. I think Jared Goff
Okay.
is not any.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
the Cardinals are a better team than the Rams.
I don't know that the
cool.
Rams defense, other than Aaron Donald, is that great.
Right. They have an all right secondary.
Yeah, I mean they're okay, but I wouldn't say, if DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett unleash like
You
some
have-
of the games we've seen them this
Oh,
year.
right. Well, it's
Watch
either
the
one or the
fuck
other.
out.
It's one or the other has a great game. It's
That's
kind of
right.
both.
That's right. But
I
now
just
you
don't
put
hate it.
Chris Carson back in there and let him run the ball.
Yeah, but their defense is horrible.
And I
They
do
can't
believe
stop their grandmother from fucking scoring on them.
over half of the Rams
Possible.
wins. I want to say they've played the NFC East 3 or 4 times already this year.
Right.
They have.
So
And the
it's
Jets.
yeah. Oh, so yeah, their record's a little inflated. We haven't seen
Yeah.
them matched
Hey,
up against too
I'm
many
cool.
good teams.
Again, every time you both pick against me, it has been good for me. So keep it
Well,
up.
all right.
It's when me and Joe pick the same and Ev picks differently. As soon as that happens, I should change my pick to pick whatever Evan did. 'Cause that's when he gets it right.
Evan, I hope we just kick his ass this
I
week.
know. Wouldn't
And
that
it's
be nice?
just not right. Like,
Yeah.
get 3 or 4 games on him and
so-
be like,
so-
okay.
For fun, Joe, I have to hear this. Ev, why are you picking New England? Why are they going to win that game? Tell us your insights.
Okay, I do have to defend my pick now, don't I? Now, I don't think they're as bad as their record. Are they as good as the Ravens? No, obviously not. But if the offense can score some points,
Dude, you've had a hard on for the Ravens, so I'm really shocked.
I know.
Because you picked them to win the Super
If
Bowl.
Stephon Gilmore comes back this week,
He played
which
last
is-
week, didn't he?
I don't
No, was
think
that
he-
somebody
no,
else?
he didn't. He didn't play
Who
against
is
the
it?
Jets.
Who was that receiver that defensive back that interfered? It wasn't Gilmore. It was a different guy, but it well-known McCourty.
Probably, yeah. McCourty's been
Jets.
playing.
He was all over.
Yeah.
The Jets receivers in that game. He got burnt a good one at one point. But anyway,
But I think it'll at least be close. I think it'll be close, like similar to the Patriots Seahawks game from earlier in the year.
okay. I think the Ravens are going to win because they're a way better team, and Lamar's not going to give like 4 takeaways.
He's been turning the ball over a lot.
Yeah. He's going to hold it. He's going to play better than the Jets and not throw the first play of the only drive they really had in the fourth quarter. Throw a deep pick like Flacco did.
I mean,
he's
Lamar's
just not going to
been-
do that.
Lamar's been turnover happy the
Yeah.
past few games. So if the
Okay.
Patriots can,
I'm saying
cause a
he's
few
not going to.
turnovers.
That's going to win the game for the Ravens. He's going to protect the ball a little better.
I mean, it's a bold pick to say the Patriots are going to win, but I
I
got
just
to
had to hear why. I just had to. That was good. Okay, Bucks Panthers.
You didn't ask
Oh.
me.
Joe,
what
what
do
do
you
you
think?
think about the Ravens?
Cam Newton's horrible.
He does
It's
have
horrible.
three
It's horrible.
3 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
It's horrible. Well, when you run the ball 64 times in a game, eventually you're going to find pay dirt. Look, they
From
could
3 inches
barely.
out.
Yeah,
3
no
inches
shit.
Out, he gets
They
3 tries.
listen. They didn't beat the Jets last week. The Jets beat the Jets.
They did.
They had listen. The Ravens
Jets
are
are beating
night
their
and
ass.
day. I mean this. I think they will absolutely kick the Patriots' ass.
Hey,
Now
did you guys-
I will say this, Evan. We've seen a lot of bullshit go on.
This is 2020.
Absolutely.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And so I
Right.
will say, when the Bengals went and beat the Titans, none of us expected that. So is
Right.
it possible?
New
Yeah,
England 53, Ravens 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I
That would be nice.
suppose. I just don't. I mean, it'll take a miracle.
Did you see? This was off subject again, except for we've been bagging on New England and the Jets. Did you see that the Jets let go of one of their quarterbacks after that loss? Yeah, their third stringer. I was like, I saw that newsfeed on my phone. I read it. I'm like, I thought, oh, they got rid of Flacco for throwing that pick. It was their third stringer. I'm like, the fuck?
That's
No,
the
the
Jets.
coach, not the fucking
That's the Jets.
third stringer quarterback. What news? That
Oh.
shouldn't have even made news.
Adam Gase will be gone by the end of the year.
Jets.
Jeez,
Yeah.
I was wanting to text that so bad, and I'm glad I didn't because I ended up losing. God damn, it was
Yeah,
hilarious.
it would have came back to bite you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bucks Panthers. This one I'm struggling with. I was trying to buy some time. Well, McCaffrey's out this week, so Buccaneers. are
Yeah.
gonna get it.
Yeah.
He has hurt his shoulder. So
That's what he gets for carrying the ball so much. The Chiefs let him have it at the end.
yeah, I know.
Come on, pick against me, both of you, please.
No, I'm going to take the Bucks on this one. I think they bounce back.
Evan's got something secret he's picking.
I am absolutely going to take the Buccaneers.
I think they're pissed off, and I think
Yeah.
they're.
Tom Brady's not going to go out and throw 3 picks again against the
No.
Panthers.
Look at that.
No.
This is the first time we left a team on the board.
Wow.
We've picked opposite until that game. Somebody did.
Yeah.
Colts, Titans. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm going to stick with my Titans as
I
much as
knew
this
it.
one pains me.
I'm going to the Colts because I think
I
the
know
Colts
you
are
are.
going to come back and
Ev,
upset
pick the
them.
Colts, please, so I
I'm
can win
going
this
with
game.
the Colts. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I needed you to do that. Otherwise, I was going to lose that game. So
Yeah.
Oh, boys, that looks pretty good.
So major
Again,
disparity.
one game do we have a different? We all went with the same team, and that was the Bucks. And last week we went with 3 games the same. And
we all
two
went
of
with
us
the
went with 3.
Bucks.
Yeah.
We all went with the Bucks, and it
Seahawks,
screwed
and
us.
the Seahawks last week. Yeah.
So wasn't
that's
good.
not going to happen this week. So I've been thinking that we need to change it up a little bit because we've been very consistent. That we talk I'm not talking politics. I was out on NFL.com and I saw a couple things that all hit me of things I wanted to kind of talk about because they really were things that we've somewhat talked about in the beginning of the season. Except for this one that not really, which was they're ranking the top 25 rookies so far this year. Did you guys see that article?
I did not see the article.
Yeah. I kind of want to just talk about offensive players because there's defensive guys there and they're interesting, but they're not as fun to talk about, or offensive tackles or linemen because they're not as fun. Right now, they're ranking Justin Herbert as the #1 rookie. What do you guys think?
I would say it's a toss-up between him and Burrow. I mean, they've both played well.
Two. Okay, they have Burrow #2, so that's I don't think anybody dispute that it's a toss-up.
Herbert's looked fantastic though. He's played phenomenally. He looks like he's been in the league for 4 or 5 years with some of the throws
the
that
Bengals
he's
have
making.
more wins.
Well, that's the thing. I do think Burrow he's brought them wins. He's been a little bit more clutch. I mean, I like Burrow long term a little bit more than Herbert, but I mean they've both been fantastic. I think.
Are we talking just rookies, or are we talking rookies quarterbacks?
Only. Top
Rookies
25
only.
Rookies.
Okay.
They got defensive guys. They got linemen.
I mean, I think
kind
they
of
are
want to talk
number 1
about.
and 2.
I want to talk about the offensive guys. I'll throw the names out there. I mean, like Chase Young's like #3 and #4. So there's guys that we know are up there. There's another hot topic one I want to bring up in a minute, but I just thought I'd start with #1. Whether you like or dislike Herbert being #1.
I could see it.
Yeah, I mean, you said him or Burrow, so I think that's not off. What do you think, Jay?
I like Herbert. I mean, I think he's played well.
You think he should be #1 though?
I don't. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire should be #1.
Oh, Homer,
No.
stop it!
Look how he's played.
It.
I actually
look how he's played.
You. I mean,
I'm sorry.
He could at least be given a nod.
Jesus Christ! And not because he just plays for the Chiefs, Evan. Because look what he's done. Look at the numbers he's putting up.
Okay.
So
you're segueing in. Let me just interrupt you for a second, Evan. Then you can talk. So you're segueing in. We're going to drop the next player that's offense is they put it #5. So it was Burrow and Herbert 1 and 2 in reverse order. Then they had 2 guys that were defensive guy, Chase Young, and then a lineman. Okay. The #5 was a running back, but it was Thompson out of Jacksonville, I believe. Is that his name, right? Thompson? Robinson. Sorry.
Robinson.
He's played well.
They gave him #5. And as I saw that, I went, well, where the fuck is Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
There's no way.
So
he hadn't played better than Clyde Edwards.
No, right.
I'm sorry.
So I pulled up just NFL.com stats.
You haven't watched Clyde play if you say that.
So
and I've watched him play every game.
So I pull up just the stats for running backs, so rushing yards, right? Clyde Edwards-Helaire is 4th on the list in rushing yards behind Dalvin, Derrick Henry, and Josh Jacobs. And only 2 yards behind Josh Jacobs. Guess who's #5, guys? Just a shocker. Todd Gurley. Guess who's #6? James Robinson. So Robinson's actually has 6 more carries than Clyde Edwards-Helaire and has 6 less yards. And they both have, actually, Clyde has 2 touchdowns. Robinson's got 5, but we all know why, right?
My guess.
Clyde Edwards has 3 20-plus yard runs, and Robinson only has 2. Yet they're still giving him the nod, and I'm shocked, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, my guess is that it's because he's undrafted. And
that's true.
They're
but
kind of weighing in that. I mean, he's got more touchdowns, but you could argue that's because the Chiefs have more weapons.
Right.
Well, that's exactly the reason.
Jacksonville has almost none. And, Clyde Edwards really isn't that great when he gets close to the goal line. He needs to get it from about 20 yards or more
so
out.
Could be weighing that in.
Then he might get in. But Clyde Edwards, just FYI, he dropped one this week apparently, and he's now ranked 11th top 25 rookie. And I'm like, that's not even close. Come on, there's other good names, but that's shocking to me.
Clyde's sitting back going, who fucking cares? Because I'm getting a Super Bowl ring.
Right. That's a good point.
Fuck you. Rank me 25th for all I care. But I'm going to be wearing the fucking bling. And Robinson, you know what he's going to be doing? that motherfucker's going to be sitting on his couch because they not only will they not make the playoffs, I'm not sure they'll make it through the season.
Remember
they
I
suck
said,
so bad.
oh, they'll make it this season. But remember, I think my headphones just went.
We can still hear you.
Yeah,
I
we
got
can
a
still-
wiggly cord. I got to switch back to my new pair, and I keep forgetting to. But remember when I said Jacksonville's going to be better than Houston? That doesn't even look true this year now. If they started that way, they sure haven't been
still
doing
think-
it since then.
Because it's not true.
Because it
Yeah.
hasn't been true, unfortunately.
They're both
but guess
one
what?
or two
Both
win
the-
games.
Both those aforementioned running backs and a whole slew of others are still better than David Johnson.
Well, that is
rushing
true.
stats. David Johnson was somewhere like he's above.
To be fair, he's been hurt. He's missed a few
He's
games.
above Melvin Gordon, but that's about it. I don't care. That's his problem. He's not healthy. That's Todd Gurley who came into the preseason hurt, and he's
Yes, he has.
number 5. He's obviously doing.
Let me just tell you though, Todd Gurley may have great numbers there, but if you have him in fantasy, he's stuck the old wiener right in your butt. That's
No, he
all
hasn't
I got to
he has-
say.
No,
he has not been that
9
bad.
touchdowns.
I have him
He
on
has
ESPN.
been that bad. I have him.
I have him on
Trust me.
ESPN. I have him
Well,
on
you
ESPN.
have him in a PPR league. I have him in CBS
That's your
where he
fault.
don't get fucking
But
dick
9
points.
touchdowns is a lot. This part of the season, if you can count on a touchdown a game, basically is what he's getting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus them.
John, but a
that's
touchdown
good-
doesn't
that's good
cut it
number.
in these leagues. That doesn't cut it.
Oh, your team.
If you
true.
get 50
That is
yards
true.
and a touchdown, that's 11 fucking points, and that ain't dick.
He's a
You ain't
good
gonna win with
running
that.
back to flex option.
he's
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
reliant.
no, but in a non PPR league, you don't.
I would
have
say
the
he
flex option.
he helps
That's
teams
true.
win, but Atlanta really hasn't won much either. So he's, I mean, it is what it is.
Oh,
For
I
playing
know.
on Atlanta's team, Mr. Joe, all they do is pass. To have the 5th most rushing yards. 5th most rushing yards. Apparently, they don't just pass the ball. That's
Right.
because these are only rushing numbers I'm giving you. Because NFL doesn't make it easy to say, show me running backs in their combined numbers.
Right. Well, I would still say Burrow and Hebert rank above Hilaire because of the impact that Burrow and Hebert have on their team. You
True.
take Hilaire off the Chiefs, they're still winning games. They're still probably going to go to possibly to the Super Bowl. You take Burrow off the Bengals, they have 0 wins.
Dude, if you take Robinson off Jacksonville, they're still going to lose their
They're
1-7.
I don't
So
care.
really-
I don't care
Yeah.
about Robinson over Hilaire. I think
Okay, let's
you
move
could.
on.
I think Hilaire. I think you guys are right on that. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Let's move on. So these two are close, and it's kind of interesting. Justin Jefferson is 6. CeeDee Lamb is number 7.
I'd say that sounds good. I think
Yeah, I
Jefferson's
would
been
pick-
a little
I would
better
pick
than
I
CeeDee.
don't think it's
over
real
Lamb.
shocking. Yeah. I mean, they're both
Yeah.
were good. I don't.
I mean,
think
CeeDee Lamb's
we
good,
didn't
but
talk about Jefferson. Remember in the draft, we weren't talking Jefferson. We were talking CeeDee
no.
and Ruggs. And
That's because
Judy,
Jefferson's
yeah.
quarterback is Cousins. CeeDee Lamb's quarterback was Dak Prescott. You talk about him. You don't talk because Kirk Cousins we didn't think was going to be great anyway. We talked a lot
isn't
about
most games.
Dalvin Cook. Well, that's the whole point. So the fact that Justin Jefferson is doing what he's doing with Kirk Cousins is pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb,
He was
Yeah,
looking
he-
good
he-
when Dak was there.
he
Yeah,
was,
he's
but he
obviously
had
fallen
Dak
off now that he
Prescott.
doesn't have a quarterback.
Dak Prescott is much better than Kirk Cousins. So you kind of got to give the nod to Jefferson because he's doing it with a subpar quarterback throwing
Yeah.
to him.
He was. Now he's got a better quarterback than Dallas does. So
Well, yeah.
he's-
Does Dallas even have a quarterback? I think
Right.
it's like
Hey,
Cole
Garrett-
they
Beasley, I think.
almost
Garrett
pulled it
Gilbert.
out. Come on, they about pulled it out against Pittsburgh. So
Trust
yeah,
me, I know. I watched the whole game.
Yeah, that was.
I was very aware of what was going on. Trust
So
me.
a couple others that it slipped a lot. So we were talking about 6 and 7, but down at 17th, 18th, and 19th, we got Chase Claypool at 17, and I think he's closer to talking about those other guys, but that's fine. T. Higgins at 18 and Jerry Jeudy at 19.
Okay. I mean, they've all been all
I
right.
think Jerry Jeudy is low is too low. I think he needs to come down. I think Jerry Judy's played great. I mean, you have to understand what team Jerry Judy's on. If you've watched some of the games, and I live in the Midwest, so I've watched some of the Denver games. That kid has got game. He's not the fastest kid, but let me tell you, he can run routes And man, he puts his foot in the ground and that fucker is gone. The problem is he plays for the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos don't have an offense. They have Drew Lock, hasn't proven. I said he wasn't going to be good. You had a hard on for Drew Lock at the beginning of the season. You were wrong. I mean, let's just say it. He isn't good. I think Elway's struggling because he's like, what do I do now? I'm going to have to go find a quarterback because he knows Drew Long's not the long-term guy. And so, but Jerry Jeudy, for what he's been playing with, he's phenomenal. I wish we had him on the Chiefs because he's that good. So I think he's
to give it away. Are you shocked that Ruggs isn't on the list?
No, because he only has like 10 catches.
Yeah, I mean, he now, funny enough, 9 of those came against the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's like,
right.
he had a long touchdown. Yeah, but most of them were against Kansas City. But beyond that game, he had a great game against Kansas City. But beyond that, people have shut him down. I mean, he just hasn't been that successful. So
he seems like a one-trick pony. He just runs deep.
Yeah. I think I'll be honest with you. With all the receivers we just talked about, I think Jerry Jeudy is number one out of all of those receivers, even better than Jefferson. And his numbers won't be there because of who he plays for. But I think from a skill set standpoint, Jerry Jeudy tops them all.
I could agree with that.
From what I've seen. And I hate saying that because he plays for Denver. I suppose it's better than saying it's, Ruggs. But
so Brandon Ayuk is at 21, by the way. Let's see.
He's good. He's
Darnell Mooney for the Bears is at 24. And then the 25th running back is Jonathan Taylor.
He's played well.
He's done pretty well, but obviously injuries have hampered him.
And
it's weird.
He's had some fumbles. I mean,
that too. Yeah.
I mean,
but he's hitting the list. So those are. I just thought some of those were kind of interesting. Especially, I was thinking Burrow was number one, and as soon as I pulled it up, I was like, oh, Herbert, that was the shocker. So I'm going to flip over to the top 10 running backs real quick. Oh, sorry. They have another article. Who they think running backs are set for a second half breakout. And one of the guys they list was J.K. Dobbins, and then Chase Edmonds and Damian Harris, and Jordan Wilkins from the Colts. And I thought it was interesting because I'm like, hey, most of these guys aren't on there. I mean, some of them aren't rookies, obviously, but I'm like, J.K. Dobbins is a rookie. And and so is Jordan Wilkins, but they didn't talk about those guys. Maybe Jordan Wilkins isn't. Fucking maybe he's. Let's see. No, yeah, it's his third year pro, so he's not. He's just somebody they think they're going to turn it around. So they're like, Jonathan Taylor is doing all right, but we think this other guy is going to be the second half guy. But to continue that, just think those guys. I thought it was interesting about the top 10 running backs to finish. So we all know Dalvin Cook, and we didn't talk about Dalvin as in our minds being the number one guy, but definitely up there. This is why I'm going. Alvin Kamara is number 2. And by the way, I got to give the stat out real quick. In receiving yard stats for the NFL, guess who's number 3 overall in yards, in receiving yards? He's a running back named Alvin Kamara. He's ahead of DeAndre Hopkins and Robbie Anderson and Amari Cooper and Travis Kelce, like Tyler Lockett. He's got more yards than freaking Tyler Lockett, guys. So I'm like, come on. That's shocking.
You like it if you have him on your fantasy team.
Yeah, but
that's precisely why they won't win the Super Bowl. That's exactly why. Because you can't have a running back that leads the league.
Well, Michael Thomas has been
passing yards. I understand that, Ev, but when you've got a guy that dictates that many catches, some team's going to be like, hey, you know what? Maybe we should cover this guy. And nobody's done it yet. But I'm telling you, when you get into the playoffs, they'll have a plan and they will shut him down. And when they do, the Saints will be out. I'm just telling you.
Here's a shocker.
Because he's their whole team.
Right, even though he's number 2 in as a rated running back, combined rushing and catching, he only has 8 touchdowns. By the way, that's 1 less than your buddy Todd Gurley. So, PPR obviously means something in rush yards and passing yards. He actually has more receiving yards than he has rush yards.
Yes.
Almost 100. But it's just interesting that that's there. Number 3, by the way, is Derrick Henry. I think none of us are shocked. I think he's done better than we thought overall in like even our PPR league because Joe, your brother, has him and he's top team in our fucking league, the asshole.
But
Guess
not
who's number
because of
4?
Derrick
Guess
Henry.
who's number 4 overall, but wasn't the 5th best rookie player in the league? Clyde Edwards-Helaire, ranked number 4th overall in running backs, but he didn't make number 4 as a rookie. Come on. There's a disparity there that's just
Okay,
Guess who's
I
number
can see
5?
that.
James Robinson. So something's amiss there in my mind, but hey, whatever.
It's because the media hates the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey, they won the Super Bowl. Welcome to my world. The
Gurley is
media
7.
has
So this
hated
is
the
probably the
Patriots.
best combined because they can show it. Yeah, Gurley hasn't done much receiving. Kareem Hunt's actually number 8. Aaron Jones is 9th. And then Christian McCaffrey's 10th only because that's who we would have said is number 1. He was going to be number 1 if
He will be
injured.
number 1. He might end up number 1 if he
If he
plays
can come
enough.
back and stay healthy. He's got to stay
I do want to
healthy.
say, if the Minnesota Vikings can come back and make the playoffs, I'm not saying they will. If they do, and Dalvin Cook keeps playing the way he is, I think he has to be
MVP.
in consideration for MVP.
I
Because
don't
he is by
disagree
far
with you.
the best player
He's
in
been
the league
tearing it
right now.
up. Man,
By
that guy has
far.
been tearing it up.
But he's on if they don't make the playoffs, he's not going to get MVP, which I don't think he would deserve it. But
Can I just bring something up on that?
Yes,
That's a great point, Evan. I'm gonna go back to last year, and I'm gonna point out the Tennessee Titans versus Kansas City Chiefs AFC Championship game, because that's exactly what they did with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry ran through the playoffs. The Chiefs said, we're going to make your quarterback beat us. And he didn't. So the same thing will happen with Dalvin Cook, because Kirk Cousins doesn't have what it takes to beat teams by himself.
I agree.
So that's why I don't. He absolutely does. But you know what? Tannehill had weapons too.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
But
Yes, they'll play well, but eventually these guys will be stopped. Because there is a Dalvin Cook. He's what fuels Minnesota's team. There's an Alvin Kamara. He's what fuels the New Orleans Saints. But when you break it down, these teams can't just continue to rely on that one guy.
Well, I agree, but I'm sure every week the opposing team goes in and says, we're going to shut down Dalvin Cook, or we're going to shut down Alvin Kamara. So it's just a matter of whether they can do it. Do they have the personnel?
That's correct.
Yep.
That's correct. But it's been done.
It's been done.
They have been shut down.
They hurt him. He wasn't on the field.
Well, no, I mean Derrick Henry. He's been shut down quite a bit. I mean, Yep. So they figured him out. Dalvin Cook, can he stay healthy? I think is probably
that's
the better
a legitimate question.
Because he just doesn't. I mean, so we'll see.
Yeah, and he's carried a load to stay healthy. That's going to be tough.
What's that?
He's the load that Dalvin Cook's
that they're giving him. Yeah.
Right, and he's been injured for a couple of games and came back, and he still got great numbers, but he continues to just get a lot of touches.
Well, all it's going to take is a hamstring pull.
Yeah. High ankle sprain.
That's I mean, that's all it'll take. It's not going to take much because then it'll linger. It'll linger. He'll try to play with it, but he won't be 100%. I mean, you know how that shit goes, and then it just goes and goes and goes, and it's
All right. Well, next hot button. There was 3 things I really like because they kind of brought back some of what we talked about early, kind of prior to the season starting, and things we continue to chat about. The next one is their projections for their playoff projections. Okay. AFC East champs. Guess who they're picking?
The Bills.
Buffalo Bills. With Miami Dolphins right behind them with a couple votes. So Miami's actually on the list. Guess who's not on that list?
I don't need to say it.
Okay.
The Jets.
That's true. Them and New England, both of those teams. Not even anywhere. So AFC North, Pittsburgh, followed up by Baltimore. AFC South.
Thank you very much.
Tennessee Titans, followed up by the Colts. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
AFC West. Is there any other choice but the Kansas City Chiefs in that division?
No.
I think we talked about that early in the season.
The Raiders, maybe?
Play all the other teams, but they're not winning it. Come on.
Raiders are making a wild card push.
So they're saying wild card, right? So they're saying wild card, of course, the Ravens, the Raiders.
You got 3 teams, right, for wild card
and
this
the
year?
Browns. They're not putting New England on the list.
Well, the Patriots have a 3-5 record. I don't blame them.
Really, they're gonna put the Browns there as opposed to the Colts.
Come on, Ev. Yeah, they did.
I would think they'd put the Dolphins over the Browns.
Yeah, me too.
That is interesting because the Dolphins got a couple votes, but that's what they're saying.
The Dolphins, I still got them. They're going to win the division.
Yeah,
I would say
got to play Buffalo twice. So I mean,
okay,
right.
That's a valid point.
So NFC East, what a shocker! The Eagles, because everybody else stopped playing this year.
Yeah,
that's
dude. I will tell you this much right now, though.
They're going to be a losing record.
Give the Washington football team a couple years.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
My buddy Kyle did not break his ankle, but he really hurt it badly.
Oh, he's fucked.
Playing.
I'm really curious to see how Alex will do
Smith.
this week.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really curious.
Hey, if he
because
can lead
he's a
them
game
to the
manager,
playoffs,
I think he'll keep him in the game. I mean,
look, if he could lead them to the playoffs, it would be Alex Smith. The problem is once he gets there, he'll make the mistake.
He'll lose.
Throw the pass interception in the end zone to lose the game in the playoffs. So,
that'll still be good enough for comeback player of the year.
Hell yes. And you can't tell me that Daniel Snyder wouldn't be jumping for fucking joy even if that ended like that. He's like, we made it to the playoffs. Jesus. Give us something.
So
that'd be fun to watch.
Right. NFC North, this is not a shocker, even though a lot of us bagged on them, not me specifically, but we didn't think they'd do as good. Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay, yeah. Of course.
They don't even have anybody else. Unanimous. NFC South. New Orleans Saints, unanimous. Nobody else is saying they're good.
Nobody's on the Bucks.
NFC West, the Seahawks, with the Rams getting 2 votes.
Wow.
Yep. Wild card teams, this is not a shocker. The Bucks.
Yeah.
And a team we talked about that, depending on how they do this week, the Cardinals. If they lose, they may not make it.
Right.
And then lastly, the Rams.
The Rams, yeah.
So,
I can see that.
Anything you just totally hate there, other than you didn't like the fact that Indy didn't even make the list, Joe?
I think the AFC is.
They're. You said they were right behind Tennessee, so I mean, they're.
For votes, but did they make the wild card picks?
No,
they didn't make the wild card pick, so they didn't. Well, a couple people gave them votes behind Tennessee. They didn't even make a pick for a wild card team.
Well, look, here it is. They play this week, and they play twice.
They got to win. Yep.
Right, and so if the Colts beat them, they're going to win the division outright. So then it won't even matter. Then it's just like,
well, unless they lose more games overall.
Well, right. I mean, that's obvious. That's exactly right.
If they're tied, they will definitely have it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the Colts just need to play. I mean, that's what it is.
That's absolutely.
They either will or they won't.
Most of the teams mentioned, right? They could shit the bed, and they wouldn't make it. It wouldn't matter what they were said. What people said about them. Even the Chiefs, if they lost every game from this point forward, they might still make it, but it'd be 8-8. I mean, it would be tough.
Now, I will say the Colts played okay this last weekend. They didn't play well enough to win, but I mean, they were playing a tough team. They made some mistakes. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor fumbled. They run it back 60-some yards for a touchdown. I mean, look, when you're giving them points like that, I mean, you lose by 10, but you give them 14. So I mean, really, and it wasn't Rivers, which, generally it's Rivers giving the ball away. I mean, typically that's how that shit works.
I love it.
But that wasn't the case this time. And so if they can clean some of that shit up, I really think they can make a push. But I will tell you, I think Miami, watch out for Miami. Defensively, you know what, Evan, we talked about this at the very beginning before the season even started. And I said it would take a miracle, but I said once they put all the pieces together, watch out. And boy, have they come together. The defense looks great.
They look good.
Defense looked really good, and Tua actually looked very good.
Tua looked good too, yeah. And
his receivers made some great catches as well. But
where's Harry?
He threw some nice
Mister, they're going to make a splash with Mr. Neal here. We both said it. And, I'm just happy for the kid, man. I hope he comes back. I just hope he continues to play well, except for when the Chiefs go to Miami. And then I hope he falls down.
I'm actually shocked at how many rookie quarterbacks are playing pretty good ball.
Yeah.
Well, usually you have one or two of them falter, but.
Yeah.
I mean, they might not be, even Herbert might not be winning games, but it's not necessarily on them that they're not winning games. Usually somebody's looking like Trubinsky so his first year was probably his best year, actually.
It actually was, yeah.
But you know what I mean? Or Baker's got to get his shit together, but his team's doing okay.
Baker's
defense. Yes, yeah. I'm not saying he's a great player, but his defense has helped.
Yeah.
Boy, wasn't that a really wild game? Was that last week?
No, they were on bye
Vegas.
last week.
They were,
Yeah, okay. It was Vegas and Cleveland the week before, that high-scoring affair of like 3-4. That was
It was actually
brutal.
16-3 or
I
something.
know it was
but
so low
horrible.
scoring. It was like,
I mean, I loved it because I had the Raiders in
The
my
Raiders,
parlay,
yeah.
but I mean,
and picked them too. So hey, speaking of parlay, we have not done our
Parlay,
parlay.
let's do our
picks for the
parlay.
All right,
week.
we got to do the parlay picks.
So
and
Ev, you're the big winner. Go ahead.
Hold on, before we do the parlay picks, I have to tell you guys the great piece of news, which is why I'm
that's
not
right.
wearing the bag
Why
on
you're
my
not wearing the
head.
bag? Tell us.
My 14-point teaser hit again.
That's not quite enough. You made another $5.
Bullshit! Are you fucking kidding me? I had
It's worth
Seattle. I had Seattle plus 10. They won by 11. I had them plus 11. They lost by 10. So fuck you. And I had Pittsburgh pick them. They were losing till 2 minutes till the end of the fucking game. I had to work for that shit.
Hey,
that
Ev,
did not come easy.
Would you have spent $250 if I had spent $250 for him to wear a bag and fuck the parlay? I mean, I'd have paid it.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
yeah.
first of all, I won more than $5 because I put more than 10
That
on
was
it.
a double. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I bet 10, won 5, so I was going to put the 15 on it, but I had an extra 5, so I just put 20 down on it.
so you made
now
$10.
So now I won $30. Yeah, hell yeah.
What?
So now I'm going to take the $30 and I'm going to put it on a 14-point teaser.
So
this
they had
week.
the 14-point teaser, and we talked about it last week that if they had that again, you were going to give me a call so I could make.
They have it every week. It's standard.
I never got the call to make any picks.
You're right. I didn't call anybody last week for a couple reasons. Number one, football was going fucking horrible, and I was just wanting to say fuck you to everybody.
Before you even have any games played.
No,
so
that's
that
not true. I had a college ticket, and it went shitty too. So actually, I hit 5 out of 6 on that. I did not have K-State.
They about pulled that off.
They did. Well, yeah, but they still didn't. So
yeah, they still didn't.
Anyway, yeah, my in-laws were in town, so I was busy with
reason.
them all week. As a matter of fact, I didn't get to watch as much football as I'd like to. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know that I went 0-5 until I got those asshole texts from you guys saying, "Oh, this is going to be a fun show," and I'm like, "Oh no."
Well, we weren't sure you were 0-5 at that point because it was just looking like it. I was voting for Tampa Bay.
Well, yeah, because
so
we were waiting
0-5.
for the Bucks or something.
The Bucks.
Or
It was a
somebody was
Bucks
supposed
game,
to play.
but I'm like, even though it was going to hurt me, I'm like, I'll take that loss.
Yeah.
Just to see you go 0-5,
Yeah.
and it worked out like a charm.
You know, my only saving grace in that whole thing is that you went 2-3 and you went 1-4. Because
I
had
know.
I gone 0-5 and John would have been 5-0 or 4-1 even, it would have been it would have been fucking horrible.
That would have been.
So
beautiful.
I'm just like, I'm glad everybody had losing records. That made it
a
much
rough
softer.
week all around.
It really
rough.
was.
Note to self: Evan doesn't get to pick the picks anymore. Yes, that was terrible. I'm gonna
That was
work
Evan's
really
picks.
hard. I'm gonna work really hard at some fucked up shit next week. That's all I got to say.
All right,
Yeah.
good.
After what Evan did, I'm gonna try to make it
Good. Do it.
ridiculous.
Well, we all had different picks this week too. So
Yeah.
I mean,
This was.
you know.
You got the New England back on there. That was a gimme. So, I
Well,
like
you
that.
know, I figured I was going to put it. The Chiefs weren't playing this week. I had to put somebody on there. I mean, you know, I was running.
Right.
out
To
of
be fair,
teams,
there
so.
weren't a lot of great games. I probably would have
No.
put that one too.
I don't know that that's going to be a great game either. But I mean, fuck it. We don't know that it
Yeah.
won't. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the shit that's happened this week.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, John was like, "You guys are fucking morons for picking the fucking Dolphins." Yeah. Let's see how that went. I followed him, picked Arizona. Of course, I picked him in the parlay, so I
Right.
kind of settled that out.
3-point
But
game. That's all I got to say.
Doesn't matter.
It was.
It's a loss.
It was. But it was.
it's a loss.
My point is,
It's a
it
loss.
was. It's one of those
a
games
loss.
you call close
That's-
enough that it was a
That's all you
tough
can
one.
say. It's
Yeah,
a loss.
It's a loss.
It's a loss.
I
They could
totally
lose by
agree.
1. It doesn't matter.
Nope, it doesn't.
It's a loss.
So
Kind of like 0-3
parlay.
and 2-1.
yes.
It's
Yes.
a loss.
Yep.
All right. Should we start with the parlays?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
All right. I guess I'll give you mine.
Yeah, because you're leading. That's the rules.
Oh, okay. That's
You-
right.
you
I'm
got that
leading in
one good-
parlay. Oh, leader goes first. Wonderful. So I'm taking Seattle versus the Rams. The Seahawks are getting points, getting 2 points.
Yeah,
I think they're going to win the game outright. It feels like they're a lot better team. Getting points. Easy pick.
I'm showing 1.5, but go with
Me
2.
too. Two's
Oh, okay.
fine. 1.5's fine because it's going to work out the same way. So
Yeah. Either way, it's gonna
I'm putting 1.5 first.
Yeah.
whichever.
Okay.
All right. This next one, somebody might eye roll, but that's okay. I'm taking Cincinnati getting 7 points against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you know,
I'm
I
eye
looked at
roll on that one. So clearly you're taking Cincy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'm eye roll on it. But
I actually looked at that, Ev.
I think that's it.
I actually looked at that for my 14 point.
just to let you
Because
know,
then I would have the
right.
Bengals plus
Oh, geez,
21.
21. That, yeah.
Yeah.
I picked
Plus
the exact
21, it's
opposite.
obvious, but
Now,
Yeah.
I suck, but I picked the exact opposite game. So just to,
that's fine. That's fine.
So one of us
Well,
is hitting this one, unless
I was gonna say,
don't know, it's 7
I
points.
I feel like I can justify the pick though, because I feel like the Bengals play to the level of their opponent.
I agree with
So
that.
do the Steelers.
We've watched them do it.
Right. So
Oh, yeah.
in a division rivalry, Joe Burrow getting his first taste of Pittsburgh.
You know what? I hope, honestly, even though I'm picking against it, I hope Cincinnati wins by fucking 7.
I
Not
know.
just-
I do too.
You know, they could win by 1, it would be just as good. But, you know, I'd like to see Pittsburgh go down. I just
And
don't
I
think
do
it's going
think
to happen.
I do think Pittsburgh is going to get their first loss soon. They're
I-
not going 12-0, 13-0. That's not happening.
I think it's soon as well, but they do play a patty cake schedule.
Well, they played the Cowboys last week, and that almost was
They about
disastrous.
lost it. And that's why.
We know how that ended up.
And
Yeah.
my last game is, I almost feel stupid for picking this after last week, but I'm picking Tampa Bay versus Carolina -5.5. And I'm doing it because Christian McCaffrey is out. If Christian McCaffrey was playing, I probably would not be touching this game.
Oh,
But-
you learned from last week, huh? Tried to tell you assholes,
Yeah,
but no,
well-
nobody listens.
It doesn't. Yeah, whatever.
I figured
Whatever. You told me I was crazy because they've kicked ass so many weeks in a
Yeah.
row. It's like I'm telling you, they're not going to cover that spread, and they didn't.
What?
You're right sometimes. Clearly by
Right.
your record. Sometimes you're right. You're
Yes.
not always right.
Yes.
well,
Yes.
Tom
but
Brady-
I'll let you know when I
So-
am.
So you're picking Tampa -5.
yes.
Yep. Okay. Joseph,
You want me to go?
where do you want
next?
me to go? It's up to you.
Yeah, you're both 0-5.
I'm
Doesn't
ready,
matter.
but if you're ready, it doesn't matter. What do you want to do?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to let you choose because you went
Okay.
0-3.
Okay. Sounds good. I got Miami -2.5 against Chargers.
I do
Damn
like
it,
that one.
That was one of my games.
I already gave you another one, Cincy versus Pittsburgh, but I'm taking Pittsburgh -7. And my last one that I feel rather confident about, I actually had several, but I like this one a lot. Baltimore -7 versus New England. There you go, Ev. Just
All
for you.
right. All right.
What you got, Joseph?
Okay. Well, I'm going to go Dolphins -2.5 because I
You just like that one.
like that game a lot. Yeah.
You're a fan of the Fins. Clearly.
I am. Yeah, I like the Fins. I mean, they may screw me. Watch the Chargers fucking win this week because I fucking went the other way. That's just how
Hey,
that shit works for me.
You know what really sucks?
What?
Kyle Allen's got a bad ankle. He doesn't like being under my desk anymore. Sorry.
You're gonna really have to nurture him good this week.
Dude, I really don't want to know where he's at right now. Okay.
Not under my desk because he's got
Yeah.
a goddamn ankle injury. I mean, if it was like an elbow, it wouldn't matter. As long
Right.
as it's not his dominant elbow. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But
Whatever. It was probably a penis injury. Okay. I'm gonna
Sure it
take.
comes out.
You never know. You never know what's going on with this shit. I'm gonna take the Bills +2.
I like that one.
you know, I looked at that one. I think maybe I picked it anyway. Let's see. No, I decided to get away from that one. I just don't like that game. I think I picked Arizona too, didn't I?
You picked
So,
Arizona in the picks.
That would
You
be
did.
why. That would be why I just thought I was a little uncomfortable with that one.
Gotcha.
So you are getting 2 points, so that's always nice.
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
yes,
they could lose by a point and you got it, so there's nothing wrong with that.
yes.
Okay, Joe.
And my third one, and this one's going to come back to haunt me.
Good.
Sure as shit. But I'm going to go with it anyway. And I hate betting with this team with a passion.
Why are you picking it?
Because I think it's going to cover. I mean, that what we do in parlays?
Yeah. Yes, that's what we do.
I'm taking the Browns -3.
Oh, they were on my list, Joe. In my
Well,
5-gamer.
Yeah.
In my 5-gamer, I picked them over.
They're at
Houston.
home. They're playing the Texans.
It's a pretty shitty team.
Yeah, I just think that Baker comes out, and if for nothing else, the Browns' defense is pretty good, and he's
Right.
going to hand the ball off to Kareem Hunt, who we all know can run the ball. So,
Well,
yeah.
isn't what's his face back? Also Chubb's back.
Is Chubb back this week? I hadn't heard that.
I'm rather sure Chubb's back this week.
All right. Well, that just intensifies it, even more.
Well, watch Baker Mayfield throw 4 picks.
Oh, it says he's not sure he'll be able to play.
Okay.
I heard he might be back.
Again, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's Yeah. So I will be doing a 14-pointer, and yes, the Bengals.
Give me a call if you don't mind. I want to make a pick.
How can I? What's that?
Give me a call. Let me make a pick.
On a 14-pointer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me know when you're there. I'll give you the games.
You'll give me the games.
It'll probably have something to do with the Chargers and Miami, Baltimore, New England, Cincy, and Pittsburgh, and somebody else.
Are you taking Cincy?
No, Pittsburgh. -7. So if I get 14, I get +7.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Baltimore +7 sounds pretty good to me. Miami +11.5. Yeah. I think those are pretty good choices.
Yeah, those sound pretty
They
good.
sound a lot better now with 14 points.
Well, yeah.
Up, don't they? It's like, damn.
Hey, you know what sounded really good? Seahawks +11.
It does. I think I could do
Seahawks
Seahawks
+11
too.
and they lost by 10. I'm just telling you, you think it's all warm and cozy inside. It ain't. When in the first quarter, the team goes up 21-0, and you're like,
you're like, no way in hell. How is this even possible?
You're like, you better start playing. I just need you to score like 7 points just to get back within the parlay, So it sounds easy, but it's not always as easy as this last one. I really had to work for. I mean, Seattle barely covered. Pittsburgh scared the fuck out of me. It's like it's Dallas. Like they were +14. I had a pick. All they had to do was win the game. But they were losing the whole fucking game. I'm like, Jesus, come on. But then obviously they, went and did their.
You got a little lucky.
Their Cowboy. Oh yeah. So did you guys hear real quick, and then we can get off of this? Did you guys hear that Goodell is thinking about getting rid of the onside kick? Right? Completely. And instead allowing a team to do a 4th and 15 play.
I've heard that, yeah.
And if you get the 4th and 15 play, the ball is yours.
I've heard that. I kind of like it.
I love it because
it's awesome.
At least it's a chance, right? At least because listen, the onside, unless a miracle happens, you ain't getting it. They've tightened the rules down so much of things that you can't do. Getting it is almost fucking impossible.
I think a lot of people would get behind that rule.
Oh, hell yes.
Seeing it implemented.
A 4th and 15 play, you got one play. And if I think he said if an offensive foul is called, you're done. It's the other team's fault.
Right.
All right, that's fine. I like that.
It's the other team's fault. So if there's a defensive penalty, then you play what the penalty.
I'm sure you love it. You got Patrick Mahomes back at quarterback too.
Yes.
Like
yeah, hell yeah. I mean, I just think it's fun. I think it actually gives teams a shot.
I agree.
Because you can make a 4th and 15. I mean, we see it all the time.
Not easy, but it can happen.
It's not easy, but it's easier than an onside.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and at that point in the game, when you're doing that, people are getting tired, and everything's amped up, and just wild shit happens towards the end of the game.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Gilbert, that guy from Dallas, he was a stud in the XFL.
Was he?
They showed some of his tape, and I'm like, holy fuck. That's where he came from. And I'm like, he was pretty good. I mean, he was
okay.
He was so that's where I had no idea who this kid was. I was watching ESPN, and they did a thing on him. And I'm like, he played in the XFL. That's
XFL products coming through.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, and he played well. I mean, I'm sorry. You played against the top defense in the league.
Yep. Yeah.
And you made him sweat.
Yes, they did.
I'll
He
tell
did.
you what. Watch out for this kid. He could be something. Now,
Maybe.
is he going to take
Maybe.
that Dak spot?
No.
My guess is no. Depends on how bad Dak's hurt.
Now you do have a debate
broke
though.
his
If
shin
Andy
pretty bad.
Dalton is feeling healthy, do you go back to the Red Rocket or do you stick with Gilbert? That's a debate.
I think before there's a debate, he has to win a game.
Okay, fair enough.
I think if Dalton comes back before he's able to win a game, I think you put Dalton back in. I think if Gilbert goes out and really shows his salt, wins a game, played close against Pittsburgh, then I think maybe you reevaluate it and think, okay, let's does he have control of the team? Does he have control of the huddle? Do the guys respect him? Or the receivers? Does he have a relationship with them? I mean, there's a ton of stuff to look at. But yeah, I think you would definitely consider it if you thought it was going to take your team in the right direction.
Especially because that NFC East is still up for grabs. You're not talking about these type of things with a 7-loss team very often, but
No.
Fucking the East sucks so bad. Did anybody consider on their parlay taking the Eagles? Was that on anybody's board?
I thought about taking
Let's see
Washington
here.
actually.
Well, no, the Eagles play the Giants.
Oh, the Giants. No, sorry, Giants. Yeah, I thought about taking the Giants.
No, I remember seeing it, and yeah, it's. I think the Eagles should win that, but the Giants pulled out a win I didn't think they were going to get last week. So
yeah. The Eagles, they're -3. They're now that it is in New York, so I mean,
how can you take the Eagles in any circumstance in this year
What if they
against
were playing the
anybody? I don't
Jets?
care who they're
what if
playing.
they're playing New England? I mean, come on.
well, I'll tell you why you can take the Eagles because they're one spot above New England.
Fair enough.
I mean,
Not,
there it is, man.
Not after this. That was last week. We don't know what it's looking like this week.
That's absolutely true. You're right.
So you
New
can't
England
say that
has-
this week.
we do
right.
know what's going to look like this week.
Yeah.
Your team's going to lose, and the fucking Philadelphia is going to go into the playoffs with a losing record.
We don't know that. We don't know
truly
that.
don't, but I'm going to predict it right now.
All right,
New
I'm gonna
England's
hold
gonna
you to it
lose.
when it doesn't
New
happen.
England's going to lose, and Philly's going to win, and you're going to cry. That's all there is to it.
There will be
Hey.
no tears shed.
Hey, LeCount.
You already did that before the show. You got it
Yeah,
out of your
I
system.
already got it out. Don't worry.
Nice.
What do you think I do at home?
Hey, LeCount.
Let's not get that too far in that direction.
Okay.
That way-
Text me your 14-point teaser, 4 teams,
Okay.
and then the amount you want to bet, and I'll put it
Okay.
in on
Sounds
Friday.
good.
So,
Okay. Gotcha.
and we'll get it put in. And if you lose, I expect you to send me
Sure.
some serious fundage.
I'll send you money. You can
Sure.
have it.
Right? Don't send me Kyle Allen's cleats or anything. I don't need any memorabilia. I just need,
Okay.
right.
Although I'm sure that would be a nice tip on top of it. Let's be real.
No,
I'm sure you might enjoy it.
I have no desire to have.
Okay,
any.
it's the bottom group of it's the week 10 one. I just took a picture right off my screen, and then I got to add the last team. So I'm going to find it right now.
Okay.
Who do I like? Let's see. Oh, I know who it is.
No, you don't.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
no. I want the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Always a good pick. I would take the Raiders too.
I don't like.
Well, they're favored by 5. You get 14.
Easy.
9 points. They could
9.
lose by
Yeah.
touchdown.
Easy.
Yeah, we say that.
Yeah, we
The
say
Raiders
that.
the Raiders have not got smacked this year except by New England. So cool it. They're a good team.
They've been doing pretty good. Yeah, they beat New Orleans.
Well, they're going to get smacked next weekend hard.
Let's hope.
What are they playing? The Chiefs?
Kansas City goes to Las Vegas.
Didn't?
Yeah.
Now,
They
if
better.
I remember correctly,
They
Didn't-
owe them.
didn't the Raiders beat Kansas City in Kansas
they did.
City?
They did.
In
So
Kansas
Yes.
City.
We're going to get
Yes.
it back to them. We're going to come back off
We're
of a
definitely
bye.
picking that game next week.
Yes, we are. Healthy, wealthy,
Wait a
and
minute.
wise.
Oh,
It's my choice, actually. He doesn't really get a say, but
I
pretty
know
sure it'll be on
I
the
know
list.
you'll have that one on there.
Pretty sure it'll be on the list. Yep.
Depending
So
on
you're
how
the-
they
you're-
look this week. Maybe
so
I'll
John,
put
you're the
bottom
bottom.
group.
You're the bottom one, right?
Right. The one that says week 10 above it.
All right. So you want Chargers, Baltimore, and Cincinnati.
Yes.
Actually, you want
No.
Miami.
Pittsburgh. Sorry. The ones that have the points next to Miami,
Yeah, you want Miami -2.5,
Baltimore,
-7,
and Pittsburgh. Obviously, those are from our parlay picks, so they could be different numbers, but I still want those teams:
They
Miami,
will. They will
Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Vegas.
be. All right. How much you want to put on it?
$10.
All right. I'll try it. I'll see what I can do. See if I can scrape up $10.
Because I'll do the same thing you did. If I win, dude, if I gotta send it, just tell me, Zelle. I can Facebook it to you. You just tell me
Yeah, I
how you
will.
want to get paid.
Yeah, we have Zelle.
Not a big deal.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah. Well, let's see if you win first. I mean, if
Hey,
you win,
speaking of Zelle, for
Yeah.
our 3 listeners, if you want to contribute, well, I'll take you can tip us $1 a piece. Whatever.
Yeah.
$2,
yeah,
$5.
right.
Hey, we'll put it in for you. We won't tell you
what
what we're
is-
picking.
Hey, Evan, what does Hollywood say? Help support our community.
Help support our community in
That's
this
right.
in this desperate time.
In this desperate time of need.
Hollywood
Yeah.
who? What are you talking about?
His brother, my
Oh.
cousin, we call him Hollywood.
Oh,
Or
I
I call
didn't
him
know.
Hollywood. Yeah, I call him Hollywood because he's Hollywood. He's famous, and
true.
yeah, and so
Making the big bucks.
making the big bucks. He's got
He's
his
not
own
still playing Animal Crossing, is he, for money?
No, different
Moved on.
games.
Hey, Animal Crossing. I love it. Hey, you know
I've
what?
done that.
It's a
Oh.
popular game. I would too, I
Yeah.
guess. But
Yeah.
I mean, anyway,
Yeah. Well, would you
I'm
play?
jealous, to be quite honest.
Would you play? Oh, hell yeah. Would you
play
play
with myself for money? What are you talking about?
Would you play Mario Kart on N64 for money?
Yeah, I was pretty good at that. Though I hated the N64 controller. It was one of the worst ever.
Really?
Did you?
That
See,
was-
I thought
way you have
Mario
to hold the
Kart
middle
was best
with the-
on the N64.
I
It
agree.
was a good game, but I think the controller
Yeah.
sucked. That's a
Oh,
terrible
Oh,
controller.
I grew up on that controller.
I
That's
actually
the
kind of,
controller.
I know,
like
that-
the N64
no,
controller.
It was fine, but it beat the hell out of the old Nintendo Square controller. That thing fucking wore grooves. The corners, man, wore grooves in your fingers. Remember that shit, Joe?
Yes.
Too old for you, Evan. I mean,
Yeah.
at least the N64 was like rounded and contoured. But
Probably
it was
my,
like
my,
this weird
my-
hold it in the middle with these things around you. Stupid.
probably my favorite was the PlayStation 1. I just
That's-
love
well,
that controller.
They've only taken that controller and just continued that
And
idea
made
and
it
moved it better.
right.
And
And
even
they've-
if you look at Xbox, their controller is really off that theme.
It's similar, yeah.
They round it a little bit more just because they got to make it a little different. But at the same
Right.
time,
But they copied it, yeah.
I mean,
All right, boys. Well, listen, a great show.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Another
Yeah,
one in the
thank-
books.
hey,
Thanks-
by the way,
thanks
good
for all
picks.
the
The
numbers.
last picks of our last episode. Good job. We all won that one.
What's that?
Our very last pick of last episode. We all got that one right, by the way.
We did? What was that?
Biden.
Well, is it official?
It is to everybody that's concerned. I mean,
Okay. All right.
if you announced it.
Yeah, Evan's like, yeah, because I'm the same
No,
way. I'm like,
no, they
I mean,
announced
we've
it.
heard it, but I mean,
The government process is happening. Whether could it get reversed if some court cases happen that never have succeeded before in any recounts? Sure, but I mean, he's not like he lost in one state. Not trying to go there. It's just yes. I'm going to say it. I'll just like New England not making the playoffs, and who else did we say? Somebody else.
all I said was New England.
We
No,
pro-
I said somebody earlier
Oh. I
prior
don't
to
know.
New England.
Who did you say?
I don't remember. No.
You said the Dolphins. You told me the Dolphins would not make the playoffs.
Okay. The Dolphins.
Yes.
If I said that, that's fine. Dolphins aren't making the playoffs. Either New
He's
England,
sitting, he's sitting there going, "Why the fuck did I say that?"
they're still not going to make
He's
it.
like, "Son of a bitch. I should not.
That's fine.
I
No,
should
they're
not
still
have
gonna
said
make it.
that." They're
Now-
still losing.
Now I wish I didn't say it, but they're still not going to make it. That's,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
confident
right.
enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Brilliant pick there, John. Brilliant. Yeah.
Season's
Classic.
long.
Season is long. Well, yeah, I could say the season's long, and the Patriots could turn it around and make the fucking playoffs too.
No,
So here you go. I mean,
now we're talking.
yeah. I think it's much more likely my Dolphins make the playoffs than the Patriots making the playoffs, but it's
Yeah.
possible.
Anything's
I'm
possible.
serious. I'm going to look at their schedule right now to see who they got left because
Who's that?
The
The Dolphins?
the Dolphins, because that could matter, right? So they're playing what?
They got the Pats twice.
They're playing the Chargers. Well, they've already played the Pats once and lost. But
Oh, that's
Yes.
no. Yeah, you're right.
right, they play
You're
the
right.
Chargers.
Yes.
And then they play the Broncos, and then they play the Jets. So really, they could win 3 games right there. And then they play the Bengals. That could be 4.
Yes.
Then they play the Chiefs. Probably not going to win that game.
It could be
And then they play the Patriots again, and that's true. They could definitely win that one.
They could win that.
And then they play the Raiders, and that is going to be a good game.
That's going to be a good game, yeah.
And then they play the Bills, and I think that's the game that will decide it right there. If
It could be.
They beat the Bills, they make the playoffs. I'll stick with that. They're just not going to beat the Bills.
Dude, I think they make the playoffs even if they get to that game. If they win all the games you just talked about, they're in the playoffs. It's a wild card. There'll be 2 teams coming out of the East.
I'll agree with that.
Good.
I think so. If they win all the games that you
And
just
then
talked
that
about,
last game would be for the division.
that would be for
right.
that's exactly right. And the one who doesn't win the division goes in as a wild card.
Yeah. So, but again, we talked about the Raiders. That's a maybe. We don't really know that one. They aren't going to win the Chiefs.
Right.
And then,
But every other game, John, other than those 2,
well,
are
the Chargers,
doable.
I don't think it's a give. No, I think they're all doable.
They're not give me's, but they have a
Chargers,
legitimate shot
Chargers,
at winning
yes,
each of those games.
They do. If they can beat the Chargers and Denver, because I'm going to give most of these others, and pull out the Raiders and the Bills, they're in. I'll agree with you. That's 4 important games because they're not. I'm not counting the games that they should win. I'm counting the games that are going to be tough. Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, Bills. Let's see. That give them 4 wins. What's their record right now?
4-3. Are they 4-3?
Yeah. 5-3.
I was gonna say, I think they're 5-3. Yeah.
Are they 5-3?
So that would give them, if with those 4
Yes,
games, that would give them 9 games,
Yes.
and then they'd have to play the Bills.
Well,
So yeah,
you
they
forgot
pretty
you
much got to win all
about
those.
the
They got to
Bengals.
win those, and then they got to beat the Bills to get 10 wins.
Forgot about the Bengals.
I'm not worried about the Bengals. No, I didn't say the Bengals. I didn't say New England. I didn't say the Jets because I'm going to say they're going to just win those games. They could
All right.
lose
Well,
to
if
the
they
Bengals.
win those
They're
games, that puts them at 8-3.
Yeah.
Right, because they're 5-3 right now.
Right. I didn't
If
even
they
count
win,
those.
if they win those 3 games, that's 8-3. And then
So
they
they
win
could
another
split
4. That would make them 12-4.
Right.
I think
So
we're
they could
talking
even
a
split.
10-16 here,
Yeah, that's
and that's
pretty
still
good.
making that's still making the
10-6
playoffs.
will get
That's
you into
still
the
making the
playoffs.
playoffs.
Yes, it will. Yes.
Well, unless in the AFC overall.
So you're wrong,
is-
John. They don't even have to win all those games, and they could still make it in.
No, you're right. You're right. I
Yeah.
didn't even add those other games up. Let's see. What
Yeah.
did they say? Going back
So-
to that prediction that I had pulled up.
Yeah.
See, they say, but they don't have them in. They don't have, just FYI, not that they're saying they're right, but the predictions were the Raiders and Cleveland, not Miami, not Indy. So we'll see how that works out.
Okay.
You see, that's the thing, Joe. They gotta outperform the Colts as well.
Yes, but
Because
how
the
many?
Colts are
But
on target to be
There's
a-
3 wild card spots.
but there's 3 wild card spots.
right. They'd have to outperform overall Indy, the Raiders, Cleveland.
Very doable.
They're very doable. The Raiders and Cleveland at least, and even possibly the Colts. So every
No,
one
I'm
of
not saying
those.
it's not possible. I'm just saying that's who they got favored.
We're not
over
saying
them.
that either. We're saying it's very doable.
Oh yeah.
There's
yeah.
a difference. Not
Yeah, I
you know,
agree.
it's possible and doable. 2 different things.
Well, you said they're making it. That's not just possible.
I said
It's
they're making
happening.
I'm going on the record too. They're making it.
I'm
Okay.
saying they're making it. They're just playing too well right now.
Apparently, I went on the record a long time ago said they weren't. So
Yeah,
let's
you
see
did.
What happens?
Because you're an idiot. But that's okay. We'll see.
I'll save this clip for later.
Please do.
It's
Please
It'll
do.
be,
recorded. It's
it'll be on
recorded.
YouTube if you can actually watch anything on YouTube. We'll find out.
Well, as of right now, you can't. So
Is it still broken?
I have no idea. I
No,
haven't tried.
it's working. It's working.
Welcome back, YouTube.
Hey,
We're back in business, folks.
That's
I think we
right.
can call that a wrap.
Podcast is
YouTube-
saved.
YouTube's back. I got things to do. See you guys later.
All right, man.
All right,
Later.
have a good night, guys.
Peace
All right.
out.
Later.